Hank Jones has finally finished his routing of 3-Jack National, and today we're going to look at the front nine. Let's get after it. As any student of golf course architecture knows, Hank Jones loves to start every design off with a borderline unfair tee shot, and that's exactly what he's done here at the gettable 375-yard par 5 first hole. Entitled 20 Car Pileup, this opening masterpiece sits right on top of busy Interstate 635, which almost makes you forget about the internal OB down the middle of a double fairway that is shared with the par 4 11th hole. Find the fairway here and you can get into red numbers early. Flare one right and it's reload. Pull one left and you could be looking at a major personal injury or wrongful death lawsuit. Next up is Safelite Auto Glass, the 205-yard par 3 second hole that asks a simple question. Are you sure you want a rip hybrid after just nailing a single mom and a minivan on the last hole? This is the genius of Hank Jones. He's a master at putting tremendous doubt in a player's mind. Next up is the final of the 3 holes that run along the interstate. This 155-yard par 3 features a heavy dose of cart path circling this turtleback green. Hit the green and make an easy par. Miss it and your scuffed Top Flight Magna will be found days later by some of the kids who live in the adjacent Section 8 housing. After starting with a short par 5 followed by 2 par 3s, expect at least 6 groups or more waiting on the tee when you approach 3-Jack National's signature hole, the 680-yard uphill par 5 entitled Orange Julius. This is where Hank pays homage to the shopping mall that once stood proudly on this property by leaving a large segment of the old shopping mall parking lot as a major feature of this hole, and it is a statement maker. The big hitters will try to carry the old parking lot, but most players will hit 7 or 8 iron to the end of the fairway, hit 6 or 7 iron to this bailout fairway, and then try to career a 3-wood over the 5th green to a green that's well protected with bunkers and oversized cart paths. Next up is the par 3 5th hole entitled Kill Box. This 178-yard downhill par 3 looks innocent enough, but once you get on the putting surface, you better have your head on a swivel because players hitting their approach shots on the par 5 4th hole will be whistling 3 woods and drivers off the deck right over your head. The first par 4 we encounter at 3-Jack National is the 418-yard par 4 6th, which is aptly named Chip's Vagina, after my current and soon-to-be former general manager. Dare to cut the corner into a prevailing wind and par is yours for the taking. However, many will choose to take the safe, long way around, which would make Chip proud. Next up is the 355-yard par 4 7th, which is guarded by OB left and the employee parking lot to the right. This hole features a 7 or 8 iron approach shot to a green that is sloped so severely from front to back that we've already pretty much decided it'll be unplayable, forcing Hank to designate an area for a future temporary green. Up next is the longest hole on the golf course, the 775-yard par 5 8th entitled McCarran's Way, named after our very first honorary member, Scott McCarran. This is a true 4-shot par 5 that culminates with a green so undulating that it only has one usable pin position. The front nine ends with Marguerite, named after our head greenskeeper's current wife. Measuring out at 255 yards, this hole gives players tons of options. Either tee off with a wedge and hit your approach with a gap wedge, or tee off with a gap wedge and hit your approach with a wedge. The choice is yours. This Baritz green is the most interesting on the property, sure to be a favorite of members and tour players alike.